Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16 17 Grammys since.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient.
50 Cent is back at it, stirring the pot and calling out none other than Jay-Z. This time, he's not holding back, and things are getting messy. He's throwing out bold claims that he's sitting on some serious receipts, alleging that Jay-Z sold out, and Beyonce, she's right in the middle of it all with some scandalous secrets bubbling under the surface. There's been quiet talk for years that Jay-Z used to pull strings behind the scenes, even with Beyonce. But here's the wild part. It doesn't stop there. Foxy Brown's name is now in the mix too. Jay met her when she was just 15, and some people are starting to wonder what really went down back then. And let's not forget, 50 Cent's already had a lot to say about Diddy. Now folks are whispering that Jay-Z might be his next big target. 50 isn't just making noise, he's making accusations. He says Jay-Z's been shady with women, even his own wife, Beyonce. Now this ain't coming out of nowhere. Every time Jay-Z's name pops up and it's not all praise, 50's there, ready to speak his truth. He's already thrown shade before, claiming Jay's career only took off after linking with Beyonce. According to 50, she was being used as a bargaining chip for power in the industry. Remember Jay's Grammy journey? His first win came in '98. Then not much happened until 2004 when Crazy in Love, his hit with Beyonce, snagged another one. Fast forward to today, and he's got a whopping 23 Grammys.
He's picked the wrong girls, I guess.
But it feels like he was having relationships.
That's wrong too. Like if you went as far as but he might have trust issues.
But 50 Cent says that kind of success doesn't come clean. There's something fishy behind it. And now, 50 says he's done keeping industry secrets locked away. In a 2009 interview, he blasted Jay for having a king complex, saying the man thought he was effing Jesus. He called Jay-Z out as selfish and power-hungry, someone who'd step on anyone to reach the top. And if you think this is just beef, think again. Look at who Jay's been close with over the years. The Diddy, R. Kelly, some seriously questionable names. R. Kelly's in prison for some truly sick crimes. And Diddy, he might be heading down the same road. Now people are wondering, is Jay-Z just another name in that dark circle? 50's even suggesting Jay's been using and controlling Beyonce from the start. Sure, he helped make her a superstar, but some are starting to question how pure those intentions really were. Let's start with the major red flag, Jay-Z and Beyonce's 12-year age gap. And what's even more sketchy, nobody really knows when they started dating. Sure, they both claim she was of legal age, but that age difference plus the mystery around their first connection has folks raising eyebrows. Some even say Jay-Z manipulated her from the start, and over time, he's looked more like a control freak than a partner. On top of that, their whole love story has always had this cloud of infidelity hanging over it, stirring up major trust issues between them. Even the way they met is shady. Beyonce once said they first crossed paths sitting next to each other on a plane. But that's all we've got. No other real info. It's like their entire relationship was built in the shadows. And get this, Jay-Z himself once admitted their relationship was built on lies. He said, "This is my real life. I just ran into this place and we built this big, beautiful mansion of a relationship that wasn't totally built on the 100% truth, and it starts cracking somehow." Yikes. Sounds like Beyonce started slipping out of his grip, just like other women before her. And instead of owning up, Jay went public acting like everything was perfect. After dating in the spotlight for 4 years, Jay and Queen Bey shocked fans in 2008 with a secret wedding. No engagement announcements, no fancy headlines, just a low-key ceremony that left people wondering what was really going on. The secrecy had people thinking there was something inappropriate they were trying to hide. Even though they looked solid in public, things weren't so perfect behind the scenes. Jay-Z's cheating.
To receive the 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce, right? And you go prior to that, one.
That's not just a rumor. They've both confirmed it. That's when fans started saying something felt fake about their whole vibe. One person said their relationship always felt forced, disingenuous to me. And someone else dropped a bomb. Remember when Jay-Z was hanging with R. Kelly? If he do a tell-all, it would be out of this world. I don't believe he should have been the only one going to jail. Even after 15 years of marriage, the gossip hasn't stopped. Rumors say Jay's never been faithful. And things got even messier when a woman named Olivia McFallar stepped into the spotlight. She's a rapper who claimed Jay-Z was trying to hit her up, literally sending his bodyguards to get her number. Instead of staying quiet, Olivia did what artists do. She dropped a song. Sorry, Mrs. Carter was basically her way of telling Beyonce all about it through music. In the song, Olivia said she and Jay never actually hooked up, but she hinted it could have happened if it wasn't for her strong morals. She revealed Jay's team told her, "Excuse me, miss, do me a favor, put your number on a piece of paper. When Jay gets settled, he'll call you later." But here's the twist. Solange, Beyonce's sister, stepped in. According to Liv, Solange didn't play around when it came to protecting her sister. She scared off any woman who got too close to Jay, so Liv backed off and stayed far away from that mess. Liv didn't want her name caught up in a messy scandal, especially with Beyonce already being a global superstar. As a rising artist, Liv wasn't about to blow up for the wrong reasons. She remembered the moment it all went down. "I told you the day Jay-Z and I exchanged numbers. Solange came walking up out of nowhere. I thought I was about to get jumped, so I backed off fast."
And he was working with R. Kelly, and they were making so many records together.
Turns out, Solange had been guarding her sister from day one. No words needed, just one look, and Liv knew to fall back. But the wild part, it didn't even seem like Beyonce was fazed by the drama, and that might be because they weren't really a couple like that to begin with. Yep, word is Jay-Z and Beyonce kept their situation super quiet so they wouldn't have to explain what was really going on behind closed doors. The public thought it was a fairy tale romance, but some believe it was all smoke and mirrors. The rumors about their marriage have been swirling for years, and while some of them sound totally wild, the couple has stayed silent through most of it, never really denying or explaining much. Back in 2008, when they got married, Beyonce straight up said she wasn't planning on discussing her love life.
A beautiful wife who was understanding and knew that I'm not the worst of what I've done.
We decide everything. My word is my word. What Jay and I have is real. It's not about interviews or getting the right photo out, it's real. But fans weren't buying it. Then came 2016 Water, and everything exploded. Beyonce dropped her 6th studio album, Lemonade, and it was packed with songs exposing her rocky relationship with Jay-Z. The main theme, his cheating again. The lyrics had folks convinced that Beyonce was starting to break out of his control. One track in particular had the whole world buzzing. Sorry. In it, Beyonce name-dropped Becky with the good hair, and everyone wanted to know, who's Becky? That's when Rachel Roy jumped into the spotlight, posting on Instagram, "Good hair, don't care," and ending it with a shady caption, "It's time to live in the light." Instant chaos. Suddenly, people weren't just side-eyeing Jay-Z. They were questioning the entire dynamic between him and Beyonce.
I don't think you discussed it, and then 4 days later, we find out you got married.
That happened?
Industry insiders whispered that Queen Bey might be under some kind of constant control. Fans started picking apart their public appearances, saying Beyonce often looked spaced out or distant, like she wasn't fully present. And guess what? Jay always seemed to be right there, managing the situation like a puppet master. That's when the creepiest theory started spreading. Some folks think Beyonce's been living under serious influence, not just emotionally, but maybe even chemically. Whether that's true or not, it's clear something strange has always surrounded their relationship. Even Jay-Z and Beyonce's former bodyguard backed up the wild claims. He straight up said Jay couldn't find any other way to keep Beyonce under control, so he sold her out. And then came the real bombshell. Yeah, Beyonce is on substances. She's been on them for a long time, and he keeps her that way. That statement set the internet on fire. It's almost like Jay-Z learned from past mistakes. He wasn't gonna let another person slip out of his hands.
Life's all naturally flawless. Model chicks like me. What up, Jay?
And let's not forget, there's been plenty of talk about Jay-Z's ties to other artists who were young, new to the game, and totally unprepared for what the industry would throw at them. They trusted him, thinking he'd help them rise. But many now believe that trust came at a serious cost. And now, more and more people are starting to believe that Beyonce might be the biggest victim in all of this. She's been in Jay-Z's grip for so long, fans think she never really got a chance to live freely. One comment summed it up hard: she's stupid for staying with him, he's truly in control of her. Another person added, I never liked Jay-Z. Once he got with Beyonce, I knew she would change, and she did, always acting out, high, caught up in weird stuff like satanic rituals. People are convinced that she's not just being manipulated emotionally, but that something way darker might be going on. Some say she's been kept in that state for years, mentally checked out, but still showing up for the cameras like everything's perfect. Now the questions are getting louder. What really goes on behind the scenes? Why does Beyonce seem so distant in public appearances? Why does Jay always look like the one running the show? It's time to start digging deeper into this strange setup, because ever since the beginning, there's always been something that just doesn't sit right about their relationship. And now, fans are starting to connect dots that were ignored for years. All those moments where Beyonce seemed spaced out during interviews, where she paused too long or looked to Jay-Z before answering. People are now saying those weren't just nerves, those were signs of something deeper, something controlled. Even at major events like the Grammys or Met Gala, people noticed how Beyonce often stayed quiet, letting Jay-Z do the talking. And when she did speak, her words felt rehearsed, like she had to watch every syllable. One fan even said, it's like she's blinking for help and no one's seeing it. Some folks are convinced Jay's been crafting her image from day one, deciding what she wears, what she says, and even who she can be seen with. And every time she steps slightly out of line, boom, he's right there beside her, correcting it with a quick glance or subtle touch. Creepy much? And that elevator fight? Yeah, the infamous 2014 brawl between Solange and Jay-Z. People still talk about it. Some say that was Solange's breaking point, like she'd had enough of watching her sister being handled like a product instead of a person. And Beyonce, she stood silent the whole time. That silence, that wasn't peace, that was pressure. Industry insiders have whispered for years that Jay-Z controls way more than people realize, not just in business, but in people's personal lives too. Beyonce's included. From contracts to collaborations, Jay's had a hand in it all, moving pieces like a game of chess. And Beyonce?
I'm not gonna sleep with you.
Right.
I'm not gonna be on your bus, I'm not gonna be on your tour.
She might just be his most valuable piece on the board. Now fans are asking if Beyonce, the most powerful woman in music, isn't really free? Who is? So after all the whispers, leaked clips, suspicious moments, and bold claims, the big question still remains. What is really going on behind the scenes with Jay-Z and Beyonce?
Like with you and Beyonce, now that's like a deal. You know, that's kind of like a headline.
Yeah, pot calling the kettle sneaky.
From the outside, they look like the ultimate power couple. Billionaires, music legends, a match made in heaven. But scratch the surface and what you find is anything but perfect. The truth is, more and more fans are waking up to what feels like a scripted life Beyonce has been living. The way her image has been managed. The way her interviews are so polished they feel robotic. The strange silence she keeps while chaos swirls around her. It's enough to make anyone ask, is this really her life or is this Jay-Z's vision for her? And remember, we're not just talking about a few wild rumors. We're talking about real moments caught on camera, real interviews, real people from the inside stepping forward with stories that line up a little too perfectly. Her old bodyguard speaking out, Olivia McFowler calling him out, Solange exploding in that elevator. Even the symbolism in Beyonce's own Lemonade album, none of this is a coincidence. Let's not forget how silent Jay-Z has been through all of it. Not a denial, not a clear response, nothing but carefully managed PR moves. Some people think he's just trying to protect his empire. Others believe he's hiding something way darker, controlling the narrative just like he allegedly controls Beyonce's entire world. And what about Beyonce's own silence? Could it be protection or something deeper? Is she choosing to stay quiet or is she being kept quiet? That's what's really got people talking now, because silence, it speaks volumes, especially when the world's biggest superstar is standing in it. Look, Beyonce has always been private, that's no secret. But when every part of your life is wrapped in mystery, when fans are spotting red flags that just don't go away, it stops being privacy and starts looking like a pattern. And here's where it gets even messier. Some folks online believe Beyonce has been caught in something she can't escape. That Jay-Z didn't just build a brand with her, he built a system around her. From controlling her music to managing her public persona to keeping a tight grip on her relationships. It's like nothing happens unless Jay signs off first. She's praised as the queen of empowerment. But how can someone be empowered if they're not even calling the shots in their own life? Think about it. How many times has Beyonce disappeared for months only to reappear with a perfectly polished rollout? No paparazzi shots, no random interviews. Everything is timed, calculated, controlled. Fans are starting to realize this isn't freedom, this is a production, a carefully run machine. And Jay-Z might be the one holding the master key. It's like Beyonce became the face of a billion-dollar empire, but somewhere along the way, her voice got lost. Or worse, it was taken. And the scariest part, if someone as powerful and successful as her can be stuck in a situation like this, how many others are out there in the same position without anyone noticing? This goes deeper than just one couple. This is about the entertainment industry as a whole, about how fame, money, and influence can twist the truth until nobody knows what's real anymore. Jay-Z's connections run deep. From old friendships with R. Kelly and Diddy to sudden fallouts with people who got too close, there's a pattern here. And it always ends with Jay standing on top while the rest fade into the shadows. So when people say Beyonce's stuck, controlled, maybe even medicated just to stay in line, it's not coming out of nowhere. And look, we're not saying everything's confirmed. We're not claiming to have all the answers. But the questions are getting harder to ignore. The pieces are starting to fit in ways they never have before. And the silence is starting to get loud. So here we are, years into their perfect marriage, watching it all unravel bit by bit. Fans aren't blind anymore. They're connecting dots, paying attention, and speaking up. And the more people look into it, the more it seems like Beyonce might not be living her dream. She might be surviving someone else's. One thing is clear. People are no longer buying the fairy tale. The castle's got cracks, and behind those designer shades, there might be a queen who's been crying out for help this whole time. This story isn't over. If anything, it's just getting started. The industry has secrets, and it looks like 50 Cent was right about one thing. Jay-Z might be hiding more than anyone expected. And so now it's time to ask you, what do you believe? Is Beyonce truly living her best life? Or is there something darker behind the throne? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next bombshell we drop. This is just the beginning, and we've got way more tea to spill. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.